going on, people? It's Mr. Do Daily here, standing in for the Germany-bound Mr. DoreOnTour. Looking to do a live dial-in episode tonight, one of those special ones where we get guests in. Do click that link at the top of the page if you want to come on and talk about the only thing on the mind of every Forest fan this evening. Of course, we've signed Jesse Lingard. Yes, we've signed Jesse Lingard. If Mr. Dore was here himself, he'd be even more excited than when Harry Arter signed. That one didn't turn out too well, did it? But what a signing. What a signing for Forest. Really, really looking forward to seeing what happens in the new season. And just a realisation of how far we've come since last season. You know, it's been absolutely massive the last 12 months. Since Steve Cooper's come in last year, we were playing young kids at right back. We was heading towards League One. This year, we're breaking our wage ceiling, smashing it, not just breaking it. A ruthless streaks come over the club, and they're signing players that have had long Premiership careers at top clubs. A player that played for England in the World Cup just 3 years ago. Absolutely incredible to think that he signed for Forest. When the season finished, none of us expected this, did we? So, like I say, please dial in, check out that link, get on the show. I'd love to talk to you about what your thoughts are. There's 174 people in already. Of course, please drop the show a like, get Mr. Dore a few more subscribers. If you're new to the channel, that would be amazing. And of course, I'm standing in. The reason I stand in for him so much, I've got my own YouTube channel, Do Daily, a little bit different to football. I've only just finished that 10 minutes ago, and I'm straight on here standing in for the man himself. So really looking forward to having some great conversation and hearing what people have got to say tonight. It'd be brilliant to get that, and I'm really sort of excited myself. I can't believe how it's all coming together. A lot of the signings we'd not really heard of some of them, have we? I've been banging on over the last week or two about the fact that we haven't got Premiership experience and just wondering how it's going to pan out and waiting to see them. Not criticising, just waiting to see how it all works out. But now, we've got Henderson, we've got Lingard. It's looking like relegation is not really going to be a problem to us. I'm not saying we're going to win the league. I'm not even saying we're going to sort of finish top 6, top 10. But I think we're going to hold our own. I think we're going to surprise a few. And seeing Forest splattered across Sky Sports News tonight with a major signing like that, we've not seen that for such a long time, have we? Amazing. I can't believe it. I'm just so excited. And although I'm a bit grumpy about the whole ticket situation, I actually secured my Newcastle ticket as well today. So really, really glad, relieved about that one. But I can't wait now for that first game. And, of course, some of the friendlies in between. Fortunately, I can't go to Germany. Mr. Dore's out there with a few of the boys. He's going to have a cracking time. I went to Spain a few weeks ago, saw the Coventry game. We didn't see any of this coming then. Of course, we got beat. It wasn't very good in the second half especially. But it was brilliant to be there, brilliant to see Forest. And we're all just waiting for it. And now, the mouth-watering signings we've got, it's brilliant that we can really, really look forward to it and believe we've got a chance. Loads and loads of comments coming in. Loads and loads of comments. I'm just going to run through some of them. OJW says, I'm over the moon, mate. Followed it up with saying 1 year contract, so if we stay up, we'll stay. If we go down, he'll go. Fair enough. Football contracts are changing, aren't they? And it means we won't be in a bad position. None of us want us to go down the road of that lot down the A52 and start getting a bit above ourselves and spending money we haven't got. So seems like a sensible deal to me. And then he followed it up again by saying, but still can help us stay up. Definitely. I think this almost ensures, the players we've got now up front. Richard Regis says, personally, I think he'll sign for a year because he knows he will get a lot of game time on the pitch so he can try and make himself a bigger name in clubs. But still, what a signing. Possibly. I kind of agree with that sentiment to some degree. You know, he definitely putting himself back in the shop window, isn't he? Showing that he's prepared to give it a go. You know, but fair play to him. One of the things when this came up, a lot of people was a bit sceptical and, well, he does this, he does his TikToks, he's not worked out Man U. One of the things that really impressed me was his loan spell at West Ham. Do you know, I've never seen a loan player go out and make such an impact. Well, Jed Spence did, but there you go. But in the Premier League, you know, somebody who's played at a big club, and let's be fair, although they're rubbish these days, Man U are a big club, but somebody who's been a Man U boy, you know, his heart's with them, he wanted to stay there, proved at the end of his spell that he wanted to go back. But what a job he did for them at a lowerish level. So I'm really sort of hoping we can get the same out of him in that sense. The people are starting to come in now, so let's just bang for a few of these. A West Ham fan, we didn't want him because he wanted lots of money. He's not even better than Bowen and Rice, and they're getting less than him. Well, your loss is our game. We'll take it. I'm not complaining. You know, it's a level up for us. Let's be honest. You know, the players we were looking at, I've been a big fan of Morgan Gibbs-White, for example, and I'm still a massive fan. You know, I'm not just dismissing him because we've signed Lingard, but Lingard's got Premiership experience. Lingard's been around a long time, as I mentioned before. He's an England player, and when he plays well, he's an England player again. His period at West Ham proved that he got back in the England squad. I think Southgate's a massive fan, and he always wants to get him in somehow. Stretch, stating the obvious here, we all know that. Forest are magic on the pitch. I'll leave it at that. Another comment here, he's a defensive midfielder for Lingard, number 10. I think that's replying to this one from another West Ham fan. No, they didn't. Rice is a centre mid, same as Lings. Lewis says, U-Reds. I think we're all in that frame of mind now, aren't we? It's become a thing this summer, hasn't it? U-Reds. We all go around shouting it all of a sudden, and it's a bit of a code for Forest fans wherever you are. U-Reds. It's absolutely brilliant when it happens out in the street. But yeah, Neil says 80k wages with add-ons. It's more like 120k. Cracking business if true. I think we're going to talk about the numbers quite a lot. It's not something I'm keen to do, but I realise that it's on lots of people's mind that the numbers. I said on Mr. Door's show last night that it's none of my business, you know. And if we want to go forward as a club, if we want to be a top club one day, you know, I'm not saying we're at that point, but we're going to have to get out of comfort zone. Over on Do Daily, I speak about getting out of the comfort zones every day, you know, and doing different things, but I think it's great that Forest are quite prepared to push on. The owner stood on the balcony in Market Square and said, we've got to write a new history. We've got to forget about the past. And I think he's true to his word at the moment, isn't he? So, yeah, we'll definitely bring that up throughout. What a surprise. The figures for his wages being reported were not true. It will be on 80k a week. Again, it seems, whilst it's still a lot of money, it seems a lot more. Just sort of not reading these before I put them up. My new fan, very happy you go to Forest. Very good player. He can get 13 to 15 goals in the Premier League. West Ham fans crying. Love to see bit of rival banter there, but great to see the Man U fan wishing him luck. You know, it's definitely good to see. He's going with well wishes. See all the bitter Hammer fans jealousy, eh? It was surprising, wasn't it? Lingard, more of a central attacking midfield player behind the strikers. A role Forest definitely needed to fill as well. We've been talking about all the signings. Forest have worked from back to front, but it's important that we got this one filled. So just sort of flicking through. Hi, Kel. Great to have you on. Sam as well. Hi. So a few comments here about Yates, O'Brien as centre midfielders, but need two more. Can't see Cafu and Colback being good enough. I'm sure we'll sort of delve into what else we might need. Someone says, love, Cafu has the heart. I'm a massive Cafu fan. Mr. Door's always talking about it. Picked him out earlier in the season. I'm not saying he's a starter. I'm not saying he's the best player in the team, but I just love the way he goes about his business, and he brings something to the team when he comes on. Here we go. Evening, every happy Forest fan. Evening, Nick. Really sort of appreciate everyone coming on, leaving these comments. 275 people in. Dore will be absolutely over the moon. I'm over the moon because nobody watches my channel. So don't forget to subscribe to Do Daily at the end of the show. Mark's coming in. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. Lots of fantastic spirit tonight. Jane Pratton, good evening, everyone. Hope you've all had a great day. I think we have, haven't we? Last couple of hours. This is a good comment. Trooper, someone slapped me. From Hooton's hell to this now was unbelievable. Absolutely amazing. G-Man said evening. Getting through to the bottom of these now. Quite a lot of them. Immortal Wolf, life is good. Sean saying another big day for Forest. Sam saying a big day ahead. Kieran saying evening Super Bendor and the YouTube sensation Do Daily. Wouldn't quite say that until tonight. Kel says, hey Des, hope you're good. All good. All's good in the Forest world. Can't believe it. Really, really happy. Adam, another DoreOnTour regular. Still can't believe it's done. Deal, baby, let's go. If anyone's seen Jesse's Twitter, I was actually looking for my Forest scarf to try and do it as I come on, but that didn't quite work out. But not to worry. Lloyd, evening, Des. You know, lots more. I'm going to get the first guest in. We've been chatting away quite a lot. There's a couple waiting. Please do come on. There's a link in the comments at the top of the comments. I'll get you all on in order. We'll speak for as long as we need to about this one. I think we have to, don't we? So without sort of any more, for the time being, any more comments, I'm just going to get that on. Any news on a shirt sponsor? I'm sure now Jesse Lingard is here. But first of all, I'm going to get Wolverine in. He comments a lot. I've never actually spoke to him, but good to see you.
How you doing, bro? How you doing?
How are you feeling?
Let's just get used to this celebration, yeah?
Have I got it right?
Let's just get used to it. It's quite hard to do, but you gotta get used to it, man. Oh, what a day!
Look at that background.
Crazy, man.
Just turn your seat. Let's see the man himself. Look at that. It looks good, doesn't it?
Looks beautiful in that shirt, don't he?
It
suits him. It's the proper red colour now. It's the proper red colour, not that scummy Manchester colour.
Exactly. It's the Garibaldi.
Oh, so, mate,
how do you feel about it? How do you feel about this?
Mate, I'll tell you what, right? It's like, I'm like you. Morgan Gibbs-White for me still is, if I'm being honest, he's the one I want. But Coops has gone with Lingard. We go with what Coops does. We don't question it. He knows better than us. So I'm over the moon. And I've just, you know what I've really enjoyed today, mate? The West Ham fans, the saltiness I've been getting on my videos today from them. I just mentioned in passing that Forest are a bigger club. It's not controversial. It's obvious. Look at our history. Look what we can do. What have they won in the last 100 years? Yeah. And they've gone to town saying, we don't want him. You can have him. He's not worth the money. Yet 4 or 5 weeks ago, they were all there just saying, you know, thought it was a done deal. Welcome home, Jesse, and all this. But from our perspective, this is the position that's been missing. Yeah, that's why we've been talking about Morgan Gibbs-White. That's why we've been talking about Jesse Lingard. It's the link position that he can do. And if you just watch how he plays his football, he has a really high accuracy in terms of shots on goal. He always runs through past the strikers as well. Good link-up play between the midfield, between the strikers. He's going to work well as long as his attitude is right. And what I mentioned yesterday in the comments was about how if you compare Spence, how he came with the so-called attitude problem and Coops turned him into a man. He's left from, what were they saying? He should be playing non-league football or he's worthy of playing Premier League football. Well, that's thanks to one person. He's now playing Champions League football. It's not even going to Premier League football. So I've got no worries about the attitude issue. And I think he's got quite a bubbly personality when you look at it. You know, yes, he does his social media stuff. People have their opinions on it. But at the end of the day, you know, people are free to choose what they want to do. And that's how he wants to express himself. Who are we to judge it? The guy's still young. He's still got money. Why not? If he wants to share his lifestyle with us, there's people who obviously want to see it. So I'm happy,
Do
mate.
you know what? In that sense, he's got personality, hasn't he? And I think this move for Jesse Lingard means he's quite ballsy. You know, it's quite. It'd have been easy for him to go to West Ham. I don't think it's necessarily about money. I don't know if you've seen the comment on his social media yesterday. Something about being wanted rather than being needed.
Yeah,
Do you know, something like that?
Yeah.
And I think to me, that kind of suggests he's feeling the Cooper love already.
Exactly. And he's going to fit into the team. You know how it is. You would rather someone comes into the team who's going to have a bit of personality, going to have a bit of bubbliness. There's someone who's going to sit in the corner quietly, come in, play the match, go home. You want him to be part of the team. And that's what Cooper's been building the whole time. He's always talking about it, the cohesion, you know, the camaraderie between the players. And that's going to be important. We're going to have tough matches this season. And Jesse is he's gonna fit into that, whether he likes it or not. And I think he's gonna like it. But he's just it's infectious. It's infectious, that kind of atmosphere.
Of course, and we know we've got the best atmosphere in the City Ground, you know, and someone with that personality is only going to thrive on it. But when it comes to his game, what's Jesse Lingard going to bring to Forest? What difference is he going to make to this team?
He's going to have no fear. He's been there. He's done it in the Premier League. This isn't new to him. Yeah, there's the fear of going forward and attacking. He's not worried about that. He's going to see himself. Do you know how? I don't know if you've been watching a lot of the preseason friendlies. If you look at someone like Jesus, now I'm not comparing them for a like to like in terms of players, but if you look at the position they've come from, Jesus has come from Man City as a backup striker, sometimes swung out on the right. He's now been put into Arsenal as the main man. Lingard is going to have that tag on him. He's the marquee signing of the season. He's going to come into that team and he's going to want to control the attacking element of what we do. And I see him stepping up into that, taking the responsibility. And I think that added responsibility is going to make him grow as a player. If he can take it on his shoulders, he's going to be motivated. He's got about, 2.5 months once the season starts to prove himself to Southgate. There's still the outside chance that he's going to go to the World Cup. We all know Southgate loves a certain, group of players, of which Jesse Lingard is one of them. So any excuse Southgate can find to get Lingard into the team, he's going to need it. And I'm sure he's had talks with Southgate over, the off season. And, Southgate's had that chat, stay in the Premier League, make sure you're performing and all that. So the motivation is going to be coming from Cooper. It's going to be coming from the World Cup. So I think we're going to see a really motivated Jesse Lingard straight out of the blocks. And there's a lot of people who were saying on my stream earlier, which got taken down by West Ham fans, but that's a whole different story. A lot of people are saying, well, what's he been doing in the off season? Is he fit enough? Can he just come straight into the team? Because I've heard he's flying out to Germany. So there's a chance we're going to see him against Union Berlin, which is going to be exciting to see. And I say to that when he went to West Ham on loan, he came from a position of cold. He was on the bench a lot of the time. He went straight into that West Ham season. You're talking middle of the season as well, where every team is up and running and used to it. And he slotted straight in, was up to speed, 9 goals in 16 games. So I think he's really gonna relish this and the responsibility of it as well.
That's the thing that strikes me about the West Ham thing. I mentioned earlier at the start of the show that I've never seen a lone player go in and hit the ground running like it. You know, and we was all going, oh, he's not going to be that bothered. It's not his club. You know, it's his career's on the decline. But it's proved he's had his issues at Man United, but it's proved when he goes away, he can be professional. And again, whilst Cooper might be that arm around him, and Southgate obviously likes him, Cooper's demanding as well. We know that he takes no BS. He deals with players, and when they need sort of talking to and sorting out. We've seen with the Samba situation last year, he nipped it in the bud very quickly. So I just think he's going to be a great asset. What does it say? So one sort of final question, Wolverine. What does it say about Forest now? What does it say about the club? I can only imagine now that the whole sort of media circus around the club is going to get massive. There's going to be people around, there's going to be Man United fans interested. There's going to be other teams looking in at what we're doing. probably saw us coming up, and they also runs at the bottom. But what are you thinking now? What does this do for Forest? What does it say about what we're going to do in the new season?
It's a statement, isn't it? It's a statement. Like I said, I want Morgan Gibbs-White, but would the media attention have been on us now had we signed Morgan Gibbs-White tonight? Everyone is talking about Lingard. I'm talking to mates who are Spurs fans, Liverpool fans, etc. Sorry, Alexa's decided she wants to start talking, but they're all talking about him. Yeah, the hype is there around it. It puts a spotlight on us. And in turn, it's going to put the spotlight on the rest of the players. This is going to be a reality check for them. We've been living off that wave of getting promotion. Yeah, we're still in the hype of being Huddersfield and everything. This, to me, is the reality check. He's going to walk through those doors. They're going to suddenly see a Premier level quality player, and it's going to hit home. It's now time. It's time for the Premier League. So I think it's just going to galvanize everything. There's going to be added pressure on the team. I don't think that's a bad thing. It will focus them. It'll focus Coops. He knows how to control all that. And I just think the way the club is going at the moment, everything is on the up and up. Yes, we've got issues with the tickets and the shirts and what have you. But if you look at the on the pitch stuff, well, at the end of the day, that's the most important stuff. It's everything about it. Every signing I'm seeing is part of a plan. It's part of a jigsaw that is just nicely coming together. It's at the stage now when you look at the defensive signings we've made, I can't pick who the best five are going to be at the back. Absolutely. I'm looking at it thinking, I love Worrell, but is his place now under threat? Because Biancon's come in and he's been absolutely fantastic in pre-season. And that's only going to help us with competition for places. So it's just going in the right direction. But now it's on the players to perform, to, enact Coops's master plan that's going to get there. And I've been getting pelters all the time, mate. But I'm saying Forest are finishing top 4 at the rate we're going.
Wow, that's a claim.
I'm that confident. Why should we not be?
Mr. Dore needs to clip this. He needs to clip it and save it.
But what I will say, had anyone said last September Forest are getting promoted, I'd be met with the same reaction that, I don't even want to look towards the chat because I've seen my chat when I say it. But why not? We all start on 0 points. Yeah, until it's mathematically not possible, I will be banging that drum that Forest are good enough. There's no team that scares me enough. Well, let's put it this way. There's not more than 4 teams in that Premier League that I don't think we can get a result on our day. Can we do it consistently over a season? We will see. We will see. But why don't we go into this season optimistic? For 23 years, I've gone into every season hoping, praying that maybe this would be the year. For once, I want to go into a season optimistic, ready to really back the team because I've seen what they're putting together, mate, and it just looks amazing. Niakate, let's not undermine the signing that he is.
Absolutely, mate. I'm absolutely loving the enthusiasm. You're making me excited. You're making me more excited.
Go for it, mate. What did you say yesterday? 14th?
Yeah. We'll come back to that later. I'll do what Mr. Dore says. I'll do it at the end. And then don't do it. No, I will. I'll do it later. I'll predict where we're going to finish. So you mentioned that you've got a channel. Tell everybody about your channel.
Yes, youtube.com/Wolverine. I'm doing all the watch-alongs for Forest because I no longer live in Nottingham. So I've done the last 2 friendly games. Doing Forest transfer news pretty much daily at the moment. All things Forest coming on that channel. So guys, make sure you go and subscribe to it. And we've got the watch along this weekend for Union Berlin. We'll be keeping you guys abreast on what's happening. We've got loads of little graphics and everything so the guys can see the in-games and what's going on. And obviously I'll be commentating on how well the boys are doing because I think we're going to field quite a strong team. We're getting closer now to fielding the team that I think is going to start in the Premier League. But yeah, make sure you subscribe.
I think you might see on Saturday a very strong team, and I'm away this weekend, a running adventure, so I'm going to check that out. I'm going to check out your watch along and try and get involved. Thanks for joining us tonight, mate. Really appreciate it. Great first done. Remember, guys, this is a dial-in, so you're more than welcome to get on at some point when you can. Really good start there from Wolverine. We'll get on to the next guest shortly, but there's absolutely hundreds of comments coming in. I'm not going to be able to read them all. I do apologise. Rob says, Des, I am buzzing. looks like this 200 grand a week is nonsense. 3 places I've read 80k. You Reds, of course. That's what we're starting to see, and it makes it feel that little bit better, doesn't it? 200 grand did seem a lot, but it seems a bit more realistic, and it's makes it even better that we beat West Ham to him, doesn't it? Nick says hit the like button, folks. Of course, keep doing that. We'd love your support on this. 374 people there was a few minutes ago. It's gone down a little bit, but so many people watching. Nobody's ever watched the YouTube channel I've done this much, so I'm winning already tonight. So thanks for tuning in. Like I say, do subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's get Dore to 10k. The work he puts in is phenomenal. He's met lots of friends and people, so keep subscribing, folks. Good evening, friends. Coming from Mark. Heard it's a 2-year deal. Nosy. I'm not quite sure of that. Most people are saying it's 1. To be honest, because of the things I've done tonight, and apologies for trying to fit some tea in as well whilst I'm doing it. I've not seen too much. I've just seen the yellow ticker on Sky and Dore on the phone saying, we got to go on, we got to go on. And Dylan, who's coming on next. So let's get through a couple of these. Paul Cantley, as an ex-Forest manager, used to say, fine margins, but we deserve this, we really do. Nick says, fantastic signing. Rockabilly Garden says, good evening, Mr. Dore. Good evening, Super Des. Dore's probably somewhere on his way to Edinburgh. Bizarrely, he's making his way up there before flying out to Berlin. You're not paying him enough for his super chats. Just a reminder for those. If you do want to support the channel, you can become a member. There's lots of people that do. I personally do it, and I should be getting paid myself. I'm always on this bloody thing. But I pay $2.99 a month, I believe, because I watch it so much when I'm not on it. You know, I think it's great value. You know, I pay 100 quid for Sky and probably watch more of that crazy fool who does this channel. But no, seriously, he does a great job. Okay. Oh, Kay there says, nice change of shirt. Just watching my channel a few minutes ago. I thought I better brighten up a little bit. Nice, great deal for us and him. Hoping we get a look in at Emmanuel Dennis. That boy knows where the goal is in the Prem. Must admit, I don't know too much about Emmanuel Dennis, but again, who knows now? I don't think there's anybody sort of off limits, is there, with this particular signing? Nick is kind of coming back to that comment about the 2-year deal, 1-year deal with an option of another year. That's what I'm led to believe. I think we all know this one gamer, Mr. Marinakis, means business. He's not messing about, is he? He's got his son there, and all of a sudden it's happening. Derek says, second game of the season will be interesting now. Of course, we've got West Ham at the City Ground. So that, I'd not thought of that. That will be interesting. Mark says, cheapest chips in the football world. Just message, Mark also says, just message Dore, told him you're doing a cracking job and got 2,000 likes already. I hope that's true. I'm not sure it will be, but there you go. Albertus, all the way from Canada. There seems to be something exciting happening. I heard the Premier League theme this morning on an update and almost got emotional. Oh, don't start me off. You know, all these things now, it's all a bit crazy. James, another YouTuber, do check him out as well. Just started out, like myself, doing his best. Newcastle tickets sold out rapidly, didn't they? Absolutely. And that was before Jesse Lingard. Imagine what the next lot are going to be like. Sorry, Eve checking in for the night. Are you going to the game at Notts County? Definitely am, Eve. Do say hello to myself and Mr. Dore. We'd love to catch up again, and all the rest of the guys. Here's an interesting one. Jimmy, who will be next? Don't know. Messi. Neymar's going. just kidding. I'm not being that silly. Martin, so many fans of other clubs writing us off before we've even kicked a ball. Let's prove them wrong. Did see that. You know, lots of fans saying, "Oh, never heard of him, never heard of that." You know, but now it's really interesting, isn't it? Vanessa, amazing signing. You know, I really can't get through all these. Working Class Patriot says, being greedy, I would like us to get Harry Winks. You know, another position we might be looking at. Kel says, statement signing for sure. Nottingham. Craig says, so happy we have Lingard. We'll be getting my tickets for the West Ham match tomorrow. I'm not sure when they go on sale, but you might know more than me there. Nottingham told if Lingard helps us up, it's worth the money just to retain the dressing room spirit. Absolutely. I think there's a lot in that, isn't there? For me personally, before I do get the next guest in, what's it going to do for people like Brennan Johnson, who's decided to stick around and give it a shot? He might have thought, I'll stick around and see what happens. And, might be a clause in there of he could perhaps move on at some later point. But now we might be thinking, wow, this is my club. We've got superstars coming along. So I think that could be an interesting dynamic as well. I'm just hoping they really click together and show what they can do. Forest Ant says, I dares, if the talk of a one-year contract on 80 grand a week is correct, it could turn out to be another genius profile. Absolutely. There's another one here, another name thrown into the hat. Pee-wee, sorry. I think we should go for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Stephen says, great signing, and if we get the West Ham Lingard, we're laughing. Absolutely. That's kind of the key thing as well, isn't it? And another one here saying he won't make the World Cup, but he'll want to make the World Cup squad, so he'll go on to impress. Right, I'm going to get the next guest in. We've got people queuing up. I could read those comments all night, and it'll be again. There's 378 in. Please drop a like, guys. Please subscribe to the channel. The next guest, I'm going to tell you, actually called this about 6 weeks ago. He's been living off the fact in the last couple of days. I've actually bumped into him. He lives close to me, and he keeps telling me he called it. He's telling everybody. So, good evening, Dylan. Look at that smug face.
Hello.
How are you feeling about making the right call and the brand new signing, Jesse Lingard?
Well, when I made the call, it was just a free agent and let's go for him. And everyone just laughed and you forget about it. But it's amazing. Do you know what I mean? Just to think of him coming and then all of a sudden it's, 7 o'clock tonight? I was on my phone. I was like, what the hell? It's happening.
I know, I got a message from you, Dylan.
I know. And I saw you today as well. When I was like, do you know what I mean? It's just, you think Forest can do something, but then they do something better at the minute. And that's the way I'm loving it.
It's interesting you say that, Dils, because we've always been accused of wanting too much, haven't we? Wanting the world and not getting it and being realistic. We've been told to get back in a pram and behave ourselves. And all of a sudden, we dropped our expectations and the club's gone mental. The club's gone signing Jesse Lingard, for God's sake.
Exactly.
But you called it. You said he was a free agent. What was it that you thought Jesse Lingard could kind of bring to Forest? Why did you think it might be a doable deal? And what sort of how are Forest going to use him?
Well, the reason I thought of him straight away was he's a free agent. Do you know what I mean? And then you think back to what he did at West Ham, and obviously they were trying to get him when he went back, and then the Newcastle situation, and nothing ever happened. So I thought, well, just have a punt. Do you know what I mean? Because he needs to get back to them heights again, what he did at West Ham. And obviously I put it out and just said to a few lads and that, and you know what I mean, never in my wildest dreams did I think it was ever going to happen. But do you know what I mean? So I think next time I might. I've been banding a Ronaldo around for the next one. You never know.
You'll be dining out on this one, won't you, Dylan? This is it now. We're going to. Door's got to go in and find that clip and get it on. He's going to be dining out on this one for the whole season. Hopefully, for your sake,
well,
he's an absolute revelation.
Oh yeah! Just imagine the comments if he's not.
Dylan's fault. Dylan signed him. It'll be all fault, Dylan.
Well, anyway, on the other bit where he says what I think he can bring to Forest is, he's 30 years old, but what he's achieved already in the game, he's played Champions League football. He's played for one of the biggest teams in the world. He's played in a World Cup semi-final, and the stuff he's done. Yeah, he does his TikToking, but that's whatever he does. Do you know what I mean? That's his profile. I don't care. Probably we'll see some TikToking in the Forest changing room, which will be good. Well, I just think coming into the squad that hasn't got much Premiership experience, and you've got young lads like Brennan Johnson, and he's just going to bring that extra step up, surely. Do you know what I mean? The quality of his training, he's going to be showing these players around him who already like Brennan Johnson plays for Wales, so he plays with Gareth Bale and people like that. But do you know what I mean? It's just going to up that ante for everyone else, even the young lads that are around the squad at the minute. Do you know what I mean? And it can only be a positive thing. Do you know what I mean? Regardless of what wages he's on, I don't care. You know what I mean? I ain't paying it. You're not paying it. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day,
we kind of are, Dylan, but we're not worried too much about that.
Yeah, do you know? Yeah, I mean, you buy your tickets, you buy your shirts, you buy your stuff. You put in. But Marinakis, what he's doing with that club, it's people tend to forget. 2 seasons ago, we was playing behind closed doors. It was costing millions and millions of pounds to run that club. He never batted an eyelid. That club just kept ticking along and everything. We see what happened down the road due to COVID. But then, do you know what I mean? Just his vision, what he's got is amazing. Because if you rewind back to January, we potentially, the old Forest, would have sold Brennan Johnson to get 20, 30 million in. Do you know what I mean? You would have, but him, Murphy, Cooper, they all just decided, no, we're going to go for it. They went for it and it paid off. Obviously making some signings now because obviously they've got to rebuild this squad, which we all know. Do you know what I mean? It's like straight away after the final, it's 5 players you've still got to find. But I think now, us as Forest fans, we can hold our head up high, and we've got an owner that is literally pushing the boat out for us. And with the news, hopefully, of the stand coming together, you know what I mean? It's only good. But
it all goes well, doesn't it? And I think what's interesting, you know, everyone's talking about the numbers, you know, and we've been on the same show where we say we don't really care. Do you know? I do care to some degree because I've seen Forest waste a lot of money on players that never played. You know, Cole Jenkinson, you know, Ariata. Both of those probably add up to one Jesse Lingard. You know, you're getting a star out of Jesse Lingard. Those players, you know, you was getting a player on the decline. You know, this guy, you know, I don't want to. I hope I'm not proved to be wrong, but we've got someone who's taking the team to the next level. They would know better than what we've got. And then there's all the foreign players that sort of come through the revolving door. Carvalho, you know, whatever your thoughts are on that guy, they're just players who we didn't get enough out of. And now, if Lingard plays well, if he scores 13 to 15 goals, like someone alluded to earlier, he's going to be worth every penny, isn't he? He's going to be taking us up positions in the league. It could be the difference between 3 positions, which in the Premier League could be £3 million. He's recouped it back in already. Like, not all of it, but a lot of it's coming back in. Shirt sales, you know, every young kid in Nottingham is going to have Lingard on the back next week. You know, and those guys. I think am I right believing he's got number 3?
No. I was speaking to a mate who's a Man U fan, and I was telling him what the video said, and it was Hope 3, and that's the name of his daughter, and she's 3 years old.
Oh, okay.
So that's what threw me a bit. And when I spoke to my mate,
I was hoping he'd not been brought in as a Yanu replacement.
Yeah.
Or bomb replacement.
Hopefully he's better than them.
Yeah, definitely. No, so good call, Dylan. Top man. Great to have you on as always, Mr. DoreOnTour. Yes. I'm sure we're going to catch up in the season when we're talking about the performances of Jesse Lingard, and hopefully you don't get battered too much.
No. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Well, thanks, mate.
All right, mate.
Cheers, Dylan. Like I said there, he called it. Everybody, you know, give him some stick if it don't quite work out. No, seriously, good call, Dylan. But thanks for coming on. Some guys waiting. Please do be patient, guys. Loads of people in. There's now over 400 people watching, which is absolutely staggering. You know, really can't believe that. Keep hitting that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Door. Make sure you subscribe to Do Daily. That would take my channel to nearly 1,000 subscribers. And I'm just doing something different, but there's no reason you can't. So please do. Everybody's feeling good, aren't they? I'm going to subscribe to everybody. So please do get behind the channels if you can. And of course, if you want to donate to the channel, there's always a super chat, and you can become a member. Door's banging out the content just now. It seems like we're signing everyone, and I'm sure in the build up to the season there's going to be some more. Getting back to these comments, as much as there's 400 people in, I'm sure they're all commenting all the time. Immortal Wolf said, "Who's next?" I'm excited. Absolutely. I think I read that one. Comment here, working class patriot. Lingard and Johnson will make us dangerous on the counter. We were dangerous on the counter anyway, weren't we? With Johnson and Keenan at times last season. Now, again, it's frightening, isn't it? Dino says, Lingard class signing, perfect number 10. Would love to go and get Dennis, Mangala and Cornet. Be great to add some proven quality. Inclined to agree with that. Whilst I'm not 100% sure about all of those, I do think there's a little bit of room for some Premier League experience now. I've got some good, solid signings. I trust Cooper, trust the business, but definitely be good to get some Premiership experience in as well. Naz says, love the West Ham fans saying they didn't want him. Sure. Here's another one. Working class patriot again. West Ham fans are salty. Absolutely. It was just really interesting today, wasn't it? When all the reports were saying that West Ham couldn't compete with Forest. You know, they're one of those clubs that I have no end of arguments about whether Forest are bigger than Newcastle or this club or that club. And West Ham's one of them. You know, we know they won the World Cup in 1966, but what have they won since? So now these days they can't even compete with Forest. And where did they finish in the Premier League? 6th. Big, massive club, West Ham, massive. Just pulling the leg. Get on, West Ham fans. Give me some back. Michael says, shame we didn't include an option if he's a big success. Add Cornet. I don't know how to say that one. And Colville. And we'll do some damage. Again, good players. The man himself, Mr. Asprey. Manchester United are more dysfunctional than Lingard's TikTok account. He's better with us. I'm inclined to agree with that, Dave, and he'll get much more love from this end as well, won't he? I think Lingard probably needs to be the big fish in a small pond, doesn't he? And I'm not doing Forest any disservice, but I think at West Ham he proved that. You know, he proves to be somebody who can cope with that kind of pressure, thrive on it. You know, some players can't, but he seems to work that way for him. And Chapo says, Man U frozen him out after a great showing at West Ham. West Ham and Spurs tried to get him, but Man U didn't want him to go, and now better for us. Well, they made a complete hash of that one, and haven't they? Because now they don't know what they're doing at Man U. Not quite sure what this one means, but we just need to listen to what Psycho says about him. Not heard that. Please let me know if I've missed something there. Jimmy White says, last chance to play at the World Cup. Harrison says, I fell off my chair at work when it was announced. You know, I'd just been for a really tough running session, and I put the TV on and I saw the big yellow ticker, and I'm like, am I hallucinating? Is this happening? I'm not quite sure what's happening. Paul says it's not a long-term gamble, it's a calculated one and an attempt to consolidate us in the Prem. Absolutely. Because I think more than anything next season, that's going to be important, isn't it? You know, even now, you know, we're excited, we're locking up, but being in the Prem, having that new stand is going to be so important, isn't it? Keenan Chambers said, great signing. Mark says, Lingard knows Cooper will get the best out of him. Best chance to get in the World Cup. Again, I'm going to sort of come back to those a little bit later. Just one I'll pop in there. It might come up in conversation. David says, do you think Forest will still sign Morgan Gibbs-White? I'll be honest with you, David. I'd love them to. I'm not sure they will, but I'd absolutely love it. But without sort of going on anymore, we'll come back to those comments. Let's get the True Red in. Hi, mate. You all right?
Yeah. Oh.
You look a bit excited here.
What's happening?
What's happening, mate? We've signed a player called Jesse Lingard.
I never expected that. When I saw it, I was literally just like, "Have I read that right?" I'm still lost for words.
Do you know there was a little bit of me? Do you know whilst I was talking about it with Dore last night on the show, and but there was still a little bit of me thinking, it's just something to get into West Ham. Do you know what I mean? It's something to move the business along with them, and they're going to come in. They're the established Premier League team. They're the place that he's had a bit of success at. And I was kind of laid back about it as well, because I thought, well, you know, there's always somebody like Morgan Gibbs-White, you know, who I've been a massive fan of. The last comment referred to that, and I thought, is it just something to move it along? So when you see it, you know, when it says he's signed, and there's the TikTok video, himself wearing a Forest scarf, you know, and the shirt, you're just like, wow, this is amazing.
I mean, it was because I actually didn't hear it like myself. My mate just sent me some like that TikTok of him going, "Deal done, baby," and I was like, are you mugging me off? Have you made that yourself? Because thing is, with all our other signings, there's always been some sort of link. Like I've sort of expected it to happen. With this one, all I heard of it, I heard about it like Monday. And I was like, that ain't gonna happen. He's probably gonna go to West Ham because that he's been there before and he trusts them. And then all of a sudden, my mate sent me that video. I was like, "Oh, and he's actually come to us." I'm putting it out now. I think we're gonna finish top 15.
Top 15.
Yeah, top 15. Watch.
Do you know? I'm a little bit more confident. That was my first prediction. Do you not?
My first prediction was 17th.
Okay.
Now I'm saying around 14th or 13th.
It's fair. It's fair. Do you know, I'm inclined to go a little bit high, but I see what you're saying. Do you know, the Premier League's hard. The Premier League's going to be really hard, and it's going to take a little bit more than Jesse Lingard at times. Hopefully, some of the other signings. But how do you think what does his game bring to Forest? How is that going to? Because last season we had Zinchenko, and for as much as we all loved him, a little bit frustrating. Didn't quite score the good chances, you know, that he had. Final ball let him down a little bit. Garner was a big player in that role as well at times, you know, number 10. Again, it just seems like we've gone on from Garner a little bit. And I don't want to disrespect him. I still love to see Garner in a Forest shirt. But what's he going to bring to this team?
Honestly, I think he's gonna bring so much creativity to our team, because now I'd love to see Garner back, but I doubt he will sign at this point. But with Zinchenko and Garner gone, like you said, Zinchenko, he was a creative player, but at times he was a bit frustrating. And Garner had that creativity that helped us on the counter, along with the players like Brennan and Jed, who's gone to Tottenham. But you know, I think Lingard is a perfect player to bring in. Now we've lost some of that creativity, because, like I saw the comment earlier, if we get the West Ham Lingard, we are laughing, because at West Ham, he was an absolute beast.
He was, wasn't he? It was just, it was like every game he was man of the match, you know. And I think, you know, I watch a lot of the live Sky games and the Sunday afternoons and the Monday nights, and I think like Neville was gobsmacked. It takes a lot to shut that guy up, but he couldn't believe it, could he? He couldn't believe what he was doing down there. So when it comes to the season, you know, here's a different question. I've not asked anybody yet. Let's put some goals on it. How many goals is he going to get?
Oh, that's tough. Oh,
put you on the spot there.
Put me on the spot. I'm gonna say, and this is a very specific number. I'm gonna say he's gonna get 16.
16 goals. I think every single Forest fan, all 379 watching right now, would snap your hand off for 16.
Yeah, 16. It's a very bold prediction for his first season in the Forest shirt, but you know, I rate him so highly. It's going to happen.
Can you remember the celebration from Wolverine at the start? What was it?
I wasn't on earlier. Sorry.
It's all right. Don't worry. Wolverine come on with a celebration. We'll all know it in a couple of weeks, especially if he's getting 16 goals. But thanks for joining us, mate. Really appreciate you coming on. Do you do a channel?
Cheers, guys.
Do you do a channel?
I don't do a channel, unfortunately.
That's all right. We're just looking to plug. Follow the Two Red. You on Twitter?
No, I'm not.
Oh, he's not there either. Keep watching DoreOnTour then. Keep watching DoreOnTour.
Cheers, guys. Right, thanks for having me on.
Great to have you on, mate. Really appreciate your input. Another great guy there, the Two Red. More says Lingard's going to get 16 goals. Do you agree with that? Comment. Let me know how many you think they're going to get. Just sort of following up on that Morgan Gibbs White point. Grant says Morgan Gibbs White might be someone we try for next summer if we stay up. Lingard will most likely have an option of another year if we stay up. Yeah, it might be right. You know, don't seem like Morgan Gibbs White's moving anywhere fast, does it? I wonder if he is somebody who's going to dig his heels in and want to work with Cooper again. So, yeah. Steve says, I think Lingard is going to be number 3 when the season starts. We'll see about that one. I'm not too sure. Albertus agreed as if we want to compete for top 6, we have to spend like a top 6 team. Absolutely. And I keep referring back to it. But when we've seen Mr. Marinakis and when we've seen him in the Market Square, he looked at Brian Clough and he said, this man wrote this club's history, but now we have to write our own. And that was telling for me. That was massive. And at that point, I thought, something's going to happen now. You know, I've not always had 100% faith in what was happening. You know, you hear the things come out, and when it's not been so good, you know, but this guy seems to have it. Justin, who is a member, does the signing change your view on the ultimate finishing position this year? I did say I'd come back to that at the end, and I will put myself out there. I won't do what DoreOnTour does and back out of it like he normally does, blags his way around things. Wolverine says, check the backstage. I'm not quite sure what that means. Ryan, he will help us stay up. What a player. Simon's checking in. Yes, Des. Lee Tilston, great signing, Des. Reckon overall package less than 9 million for 12 months, so not bad financial deal either. This was a point I was trying to get off, and do come on, Lee. If I saw you sort of lingering around backstage earlier, do come back in if you can. Love to get you on. This was something I was talking about. You know, if we sign Morgan Gibbs White on a 4-year deal for 30 million quid, you know, that's £7.5 million a year and all his wages. You know, that was the old traditional way. These days, when people hear of 100 grand a week and a free transfer on 100, 150 grand a week, when you break it all down, if it costs 9 million for Lingard over 3 years, he's a 27 million pound player. And this is the way football's going, isn't it? Loan signings, people pay 5 million for a loan signing and we'll all get a bit shocked by it, but that's the way it is. And in many ways, for a club moving through the stages as it seems Forest are at the moment, it's quite sensible, isn't it? Because if anything happens to these players, then we're not kind of stuck with them. I don't want to be brutal about it because that don't sound too nice in the great grand scheme of things, but that's the reality of it as well, isn't it? Tim says, reminds me of when we signed Brian Roy, marquee signing after we went up and it worked out pretty well. It definitely did. That first season with Roy and Collymore, what a season that was. I don't think any Forest fan over the age of 30 can forget that one. Show my age a bit there as well. But, yeah, definitely enjoyed that. Oliver says, strengthened all over the pitch. Do we think Cooper has one more big signing up his sleeve before the transfer window shuts? And on that one, I'm going to kind of leave it. I'm going to leave that there and bring the next guest in. Forest Dan, evening, mate.
Hi, Des. Pleasure to speak to you.
It's great to speak to you, mate. Are you excited about the signing?
Yeah, I am. You know, when I first heard it, I just dismissed it. You know, when I first heard that we were connected with him, I just dismissed it because I thought he's going to West Ham. There's no way we can compete, not with West Ham because they're not a big club, but with his affection for that club and the fact that they were going to pay massive wages. And at first of all, I thought, well, I'm not bothered. And then the more I thought about it, the more it started to become reality, I started to think, actually, that's a bloody good signing. Because the guy is so dynamic, you know, he's so forceful. and he can score goals. He gets involved. He can pass the ball. He puts himself about. I think he could be a really good difference maker for us.
Well, I've said in the last few days, and that he scores big goals as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He scored goals in England games, big England games. He scored goals.
He scored a cup final.
He scored a cup final winner, didn't he, for United against Palace? And that, and he scores good goals as well, doesn't he? Do you know, from positions?
He always has done, hasn't he? He's always, from being a kid, he's always scored good goals.
So whilst he's not going to be that tapping man, he's going to get you 30-yarders. And for as much as every goal counts the same, you know, we all love that. You know, that gets us going, doesn't it?
I was in the Trenton when Jed scored that goal against QPR.
Exactly.
It's nice to see him.
It doesn't matter if it's Jed, Johnny Metcalf, Stan Collymore. You know, when you it's just that sort of, those moments become big memories, don't they? You remember where you were. Lewis McGugan's free kick is another one, and they go down in history. And I think Jesse Lingard's got a chance in a short space of time of becoming a massive cult figure at Forest.
I think he could, because he's got personality as well. Whether all this TikTok stuff doesn't bother me. You know, if he does it on the pitch, I couldn't care less what he does off the pitch if it's legal. You know, and the guy's obviously confident in himself, which is a massive thing. I think he's going to give confidence to the players around him. I'm struggling to see any net. And just another quick thing, I've just done a quick calculation. If he is on 80 grand a week, that's 4 million a year. So all of a sudden, it becomes a bit of a bargain, really. 4 million. You know, like you were saying about Morgan Gibbs-White, great player. Hope we get him, but he's not a cheaper option than Jesse Lingard, is he?
No, and Jesse Lingard brings all the experience as well, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
Just going back to that comment I kind of led in with there from Oliver, strengthened all over the pitch. Do you think Cooper has one more big signing up his sleeve before the window shuts? What are your thoughts on that one? Because I tend to think there might be. I just got this feeling that there's somebody else. Perhaps just one more. You know, perhaps just one more.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest obviously would be Morgan Gibbs-White. That link has been there. I'm doubtful it's going to happen, but after what's happened in this transfer window, I just don't know. I mean, looking back to last January, we spent 2 million on Sam Surridge, and that seemed like a huge outlay for us. 2 million quid. Look at us now. You know, we buy a player for 2 million now. We start thinking, well, that's a bit cheap. He can't be any good. You know, the changes is incredible.
I do think though, just still on that comment, I'm going to contradict myself slightly. Has it been a case of Forest working to this point, and from now on, we see the squad gel? I've heard a few things from people I know. I'm not saying I know anyone in particular, but sort of I spend a lot of time near the ground, and I pick up one or two bits. I've heard Cooper's going to go with a strong team Saturday, and from that point, it's likely that he's going to start sort of moulding them to what he wants. So, bit of devil's advocate. I do think there might be one more, but I wonder if this was almost like, let's wait till this point. You know, that's the business done. We know from January they like to tie it up as early as they can and then start working with them.
Yeah, you know, the one slight worry I had, you know, when the season ended and we knew that we were going to lose all our loanees. So we knew, and we had to strengthen anyway. So we knew we were going to have to bring a lot of players in. And you start thinking, well, we're going to need, 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or not. The one thing that was worrying me was Fulham. When they did it, they brought all those players in and went down. And
I thought about that today.
Yeah, it did concern me. And in particular, the first couple, I know the pre-season, we all know that, but the first couple of pre-season games, there wasn't that gel. But the last game against, I've forgotten now. Hertha Berlin. I thought there were just signs there in the, that we were starting to gel a little bit. So hopefully we'll do exactly as you're saying now and start to see the stronger team less substitutions, and start to gel, because we need to, don't we? I mean, it's 2 weeks to go.
Absolutely, and
isn't it wonderful how football throws up ironies? And who's our first game at home against?
Absolutely, West Ham. And
I
again,
mean, are they going to get some stick, or are they not? Their fans about.
Well,
Jesse?
I think he's that type of player. I think to go and that's his situation, isn't it? That's his personality, to almost stick one up them a little bit. You know, in the nicest possible way. I'm sure he's still got affection for them.
I'm sure he has, yeah. But in the Forest, but like I said, the Forest fans aren't going to be shy about reminding them that we've got Jesse and they haven't. Oh,
no, absolutely not. But what a signing! Thanks for coming on, mate. Really
can
appreciate it.
Can I just ask you a quick question, Des?
Of course you can.
Eve's asked me to pick her up and take her to meet you and Dore, everybody, before the match. Will you be like twitching out where you are and stuff like that before the match?
I'm sure we will. Give us a message sort of privately, and we'll sort something out.
Yeah. All right. It's lovely to speak to you anyway, Des.
I'll say it on his behalf. Everybody, do go and say hello to Mr. Dore. You know, I can't get anywhere without people stopping him in the street. And I went to Wembley. It took us about 3 hours to get back to the station. But no, do say hello to him, because again, he does an amazing job. When I
said hello to him in the shop round the corner, I went frightened the life out of him and said, "Mr. Dore." What?
Absolutely,
because he lives around the corner from me. Yeah.
All right,
I'd just like to tell everybody to subscribe to Des's channel, because it is fantastic.
All right, thank you, mate. I appreciate that.
Nice. It's very calming and soothing and uplifting.
I don't get as irate as I do about football. Football's the only one thing that gets me out my. Anyway, let's move on. Thanks for coming on, mate. Really, really appreciate you coming in.
Yeah. Great to speak to you, Des.
Some more of these comments. Cheers, mate. Thanks to Ant there. Really appreciate that. Waited patiently. There's one or two more guests to come in. Anybody who wants to come on, you know, I've got a bit of time. I'm not bored of talking about Jesse Lingard. I think I'll be talking about it for the next 2 weeks. Mark says there, bring on the Geordies. I think everybody's in that frame of mind now. Paul says, people who can remember the days of Stan Collymore know it was vaulted above the other players. But if you can make a tiny percent of that impact, what he made, then we're in for a treat. Absolutely. I think people of my generation, I touched on that before, when we were asked who our favourite best Forest player was, you know, the ones we've watched, Stan Collymore is always head and shoulders above anybody, isn't he? I were lucky enough to see Stan Collymore, Stuart Pearce, Des Walker, Nigel Clough. But my top three is Collymore by street, Pearce, who is my all-time favourite, and Nigel Clough, because what a footballer he was. He'd be worth 150 million today. But anyway, that's not... He was a bit of a Jesse Lingard role, not kind of the same player, but he played in the same role. Anyway, Gary, good to see you tonight, Gary. Also reading, Maxwell Cornet is between us and Everton. What a week to be a Red. Between us and Everton, who'd go and play for Frank Lampard? They're in a mess, aren't they? And it just shows. When people... I was at work today and a Derby fan walked in and he bet me a tenner that Forest to stay up. Go down, and I said I'll snap your hand off, and he kept going on, so I took his bet. I do like a little flutter. I took his bet, and he turned around to me and disgustingly went, "Who do you think you're going to stay up above?" And I was like, Everton, Leeds, Southampton. Do you know the two other teams that come up? Do you know they're all in a bit of disarray, aren't they? Sold all the best players, and we're signing great players that are taking us to the next level. So yeah, definitely think we're staying up, and definitely don't want to lose a tenner to a Derby fan. Nick says the papers who pushed the 200k a week are now trying to blame the wild social media groups. Well, that's their own fault, isn't it, for buying into it? They should know better than anyone else. Tebs says, I think we will get another big signing in. Hope you're right, mate. Really sort of looking forward to that if we do. Jesus Christ, we can barely contain ourselves this evening. Morgan says, amazing signing, shows so much intent. Here's a call. Natalie and John Palmer, Champions League next season. I think we had that right at the start, didn't we, from Wolverine? Don't know who this guy is. Never met him in my life. Never heard of him. Seen it the likes. I think there's plenty of people doing that tonight, Mr. Dawes. Hopefully you're having a safe journey to Edinburgh. Nick says, I think we're 3 players away from a really good squad. I think it's getting there at the moment. Eddie says, massive test now for Cooper. Can't wait. Of course, it's got to all come together, hasn't it? But it's going to be an exciting watch either way. Ryan, you heads. You know, that thing we say to each other in the street these days, as soon as you see anything Forest on someone. Liam, I'm probably referring to that Champions League thing, saying, behave. A1G says, we need Keenan Davis. Sorry, just bear with me 1 second. Something's happening here. Just bear with me 1 second. Wow. Sorry, guys. Really had to deal with a drama there. A power bank exploded and set a fire in the house. It's all sorted now, but Kay was a little bit panicky. Thanks for bearing with it. I'll try my best to continue for the time being, but that was just incredible. Hopefully that alarm goes off in a minute. Going to get Ez in, let him do some talking.
Oh my God, are you okay?
I'm okay, mate, I'm okay.
Oh my God. Well, that was some live drama. That's
yeah, you
wow.
don't get that on DoreOnTour every night, do you?
Wow.
Power bank exploded in the living room.
Oh wow.
To the socket, and it created a fire. Only a small one, but it's sorted now.
It could have got a lot worse. Oh, bless you. I hope you're okay. I hope the house is okay.
It's okay. That's
you.
not too loud, that noise, is it? Is it?
That's okay now. Yeah, no, that's fine. How are you anyway, mate? You okay?
I'm good. What about Jesse Lingard?
Why?
I couldn't cope with any more excitement today.
Oh, mate. Literally, I got home when I saw the tweet from him, and I got really emotional watching it because I love the way he did it with the Hope kit at the end as well. Oh, such a that's one thing I don't like about him, and about his football. I'll never question his footballing ability and what he does on the pitch. But I'm not of the TikTok generation, probably like yourself. That's not where I grew up. But fair play to him, whatever he wants to do, let him do it. But and how quickly has it happened as well? We only heard about it the night before last, and they've sealed the deal already. You know, it's amazing how quickly they're working to get these deals done, and even the ones that I want to answer that question actually. You know, about whether we'll sign anyone else, because I said earlier that I think a 1-year transfer record will be broken again this window, and I still think that's going to happen. So I think we've got one more big name coming in, at least, to break that transfer record again. So that's my prediction. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know who it's going to go on. But I think we've got one more marquee signing left, definitely, to bring in.
Hopefully, mate. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? You know, like I said, I'm not sure I can contain the excitement at the moment, everything going off, but really looking forward to it. What does Jesse Lingard bring to Forest this season? What should we expect as?
He's going to take us up to another level, you know. I was quite optimistic and a bit hyped up when I gave my prediction of finishing 11th, but now that sounds a little bit pessimistic, you know, to be honest. I think he's definitely going to bring well, we don't need to bring a crowd in. We can't get a ticket for love nor money. If you're not there, you're not there, you know, but it's definitely going to bring a bit more attention to the club and show people that we mean business. You know, those kind of signings for a newly promoted team, they just don't happen, do they? A few people are trying to compare us to Fulham a few seasons ago when they spent 100 million, but yeah, that's nothing like this. It's nothing like this. This is planned. It's ruthless. They're ruthless in the way they're clinching these deals. You know, we heard the Niakate deal was dead at one point, and then they resurrected it, and he's here, and he looks pure class. He looks like a bargain. And same with Toffolo and O'Brien deal. We said it was dead, and you know, the next day we're signed and sealed and delivered. You know, amazing work that's being done. And you and I are old enough. I think we're pretty much the same age, mate. And we've never seen anything like this, have we? You know, when last time we were in the Premier League, we sold our best player. We sold King Kev. Pierre Van Hooijdonk went on strike as a result. We had no money going into that season. We have never been in a situation like this before. And how can you not be excited and just buzzing every day? You know, I had to join Twitter so I could get the latest news, you know, because that's the only place it turns up that quickly. But yeah, what an amazing experience right now. How can you not be excited?
No, and I asked one of the guys earlier, how many goals do you think we're getting out of him?
Oh, so my prediction, yeah, 10 to 12 I'm going with. I'm going to be a little bit more conservative than True Red was. I think he went for 16, didn't he? I'll go 10 to 12, but plenty of goal contributions in terms of assists. And you can see, I can already see neat little flicks around a penalty area with him and Brennan, and putting a 1-year through, and whoever else we're going to get in as well. I do really like the look of some of the players we're being linked with, and it's just so exciting, man. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Buzzing.
It is. There's a comment here, mate. I'm just going to pop up, which is really interesting, actually, isn't it? Southgate and Cooper are good mates. I wonder if that's I wonder if that's helped the deal in some way. Do you know, with this whole England thing and the World Cup, has Southgate suggested that this might be the club for him? Or we don't know how much contact they're in, but do you think there's anything in that? Do you think there's a chance he'll go to the World Cup?
I think there's every chance. And to be honest, anybody who's met Cooper, who wouldn't want to be good mates with him? He seems like the most likable person you could come across. He seems like somebody who'll get on with literally anybody, and he's got our respect, he's got our love. You know, he'll always be. He's challenging the big man, isn't he? I mean, Frank Clark after Brian Clough, but Cooper's challenging the big man for for fame, for being infamous with us, you know. So let's hope he gets his contract signed soon. I think he will now. He's kind of been holding out a bit, but not for any other reason other than he wants to get a few more players in. I think, you know, he wants to build the squad. And he's building us a hell of a squad at the moment, isn't he? Him and Dane Murphy and everybody else involved in it. It's amazing.
Absolutely. And there's just to mention this, Mark's put a super chat in. Thanks for the donation, Mark. Put this towards Lingard's wages. Not my wages.
No, exactly. Mate, you're underpaid, mate. Overworked and underpaid.
Overworked and underpaid and having to deal with fires in my own living room. I can't. What a night. But what a show. Thank you to everybody for sticking with it. Really do appreciate it. There's 360 people in, despite that drama there. And talking of drama, the man himself, yes. Pat Raleigh. Thanks for the comment, Pat. My own drama going on there. No acting involved. Thanks for watching. Another one here, Peter Walsh. What do you think, Ez? Are we still trying to get Garner and Davis?
I wouldn't be surprised if we still do. And it's something I said earlier about they've been overpriced by their clubs. And I think if there's any two players that we could sign on deadline day that would slot straight in, it'd be them two. You know, you can let them get their fitness with their clubs and we can sign them on deadline day and they'll slot straight in. They maybe won't need the acclimatization to the squad that other new signings will do. So I would still go for them. You know, why not? You know, it's something I briefly mentioned before. Cooper got the absolute maximum amount of those players last season, but that wasn't his squad. Apart from the players he bought in January, that wasn't his squad. But this squad is having an absolute rebuild, you know. And I'm not gonna be surprised if those two are still in the equation, because I can't forget how much, you know, Garner did for us last season and Davis did for us, and remembering them on the balcony, you know, on the celebrations, the way them two celebrated was just amazing, you know, and it felt like they wanted to be there, you know, and who doesn't want to be here at the moment? You know, anybody's had a taste of our club in the last season, everybody wants to be part of this journey right now. So it's just amazing. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do get them two in as well.
There's a comment there, from Andy on the rocks, and I think you've mentioned we're about the same age. My 23-year depression is now history. I think that's right. Thanks for all the comments, guys. I'm just trying to look at some whilst we're talking to Ez, and I'm actually down to like 9:43, so I'm about half an hour behind, and I've scrolled over so many, but I really appreciate it. There's another one here. I'm not sure in what currency, but 20 of something.
I'll tell you, it's Norwegian kroner. I work in currency, so it's Norwegian kroner.
So, Rabadam, thank you for that. Very skillful window for your guys, LFC fan. That's very generous of you. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to Mr. Dore. Just read through a couple while we keep Ez on a couple of minutes. I just want to ask him one more question. There's one here, Oliver. Hopefully he has a good relationship with the team and he's not just there for the money. That's the one. What's your thoughts on that? Is he here to play football, to fight for Forest, to get us up the league? Do you know what is his motivation?
I think all those things and getting into the World Cup squad. That's got to be his motivation. You know, he's not going to get another chance at a World Cup probably at his age. This could be his last chance, you know. So you think he's got all the motivation. And I don't doubt for a second that that's the thing that Cooper and Dane Murphy and Miltiades would have been looking at from him. You know, have you got the hunger? Are you going to come here to, you know, play a part? Or are you just going to come here to pick up a wage check? Because I don't think that's the case. I think they would have sussed him out with that from day one. I think that would have been one of the major options they were looking at. So we don't know how long he's been in their thoughts anyway, to be honest. But you would have think they do their background research. Yeah, I think they'll make sure that he's motivated for this. It's not just going to be a paycheck for him. He could have got a paycheck anywhere. He could have gone to America. They were talking about him linking up with Rooney in DC. Certainly could have got a big paycheck going to Qatar or somewhere like that, where he was also linked with. So if it was just about the money, he could have gone anywhere else, you know, but he had a few more options. So I think there is, he can, that hope thing at the end, that means something, you know. We've got to hope, you know, this is going to be an amazing journey, whatever happens. And I'm not going to jinx it, but I'm going to just say one thing. doesn't look like a squad that's going to get relegated at the moment, you know. So let's just hope that we're building something massive and we can build on top of that as well, you know. This year has got to be about just survival. But if we can survive in style, you know, I think that'll be the best option, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Okay. Just before you go, as someone else, that guy's chipping in again, that imposter. Why has Des got all these views? Some nice comments coming in. Gary said they're dragging out all the old players on Sky Sports, but the main draw is Des. Glenn, evening, Des, evening, everyone. Nice to see you on, Glenn. Paul says, have you got the new top yet? Don't get me started on that because I pre-ordered it. But anyway, thanks for joining us, Des. There's
no worries.
In the wings. Sorry. I really, really appreciate the support.
No worries. Just before I go, I've been trying to, mate, I've been trying to slide into your DMs, but it's just not happening. I'm hiding your DMs at the moment, but I've sent you a message, but I might as well show you while I'm here. Remember the offer I made to you? So this is what I'm gifting to you and Kay. So hopefully, just send me your address and I'll send that over to you, mate.
Okay, thank you. Of course, me and Kay are getting married shortly if the house don't burn down.
Yeah, exactly.
And Ez, just tell us what you do, Ez, and tell us about your channel.
Okay, yeah. So I've just started my own channel, and I started off with a rant about people complaining actually about us spending too much money. But yeah, I'm trying to just, it's nothing that I'm doing too regularly, but it's just giving me a chance to air my views sometimes and talk about football and talk about fragrance as well, two of my biggest passions. So yeah, if you do like it, it's Ez_sense on YouTube and on Instagram and on Twitter. So yeah, you can connect with me that way. And I do sell samples and fragrances. So if there's anything anyone's interested in, please get in touch with me. And I will give a 10% discount to anybody subscribed to Door and anybody subscribed to Des as well. Yeah, and to me, obviously. You get a 10% discount. Okay, so please, if there's anything you want to look at, come and see me.
Great stuff, Ez. Good to speak to you as always. See you soon, mate.
Pleasure, mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Well, appreciate Ez coming on. There was a bit of drama there. Appreciate everybody for sticking with it. Bit of a shocker. Got to go and sort that out soon. But just for now, Wolverine says, Des, go let Door out the cage. You know, promise I've not got him locked in a cage. He is going to Berlin, I think. Couple of comments there about the situation I found myself in. But all sorted now, thankfully. The joys of live television, eh? I'm not used to all of this, but sitting on Door, listening to somebody put there, Spider. That's what I thought Kay was shouting at, Spider, but it was actually a power bank that set on fire, which, like I say, I've got to go and sort out. But it's all okay, and we're having a great chat about Jesse Lingard. I'll bring the next guest in, still over 300 in. Welcome to DoreOnTour, James. What's your thoughts on the new signing?
I reckon it's good for business. I reckon I'm a long time Forest supporter myself. I used to go to the games every season. And I've even got a supporters brick at the ground. So that's how hardcore supporter I am. It's just basically with this new system, what they put into place, it makes it really difficult for people to get tickets. Who's not been able to get a season ticket for the past couple of seasons. So, and also I'm from Hucknall, so you know, so I like the new shirts also, the new home one and the away one, and I've seen the another. Basically, we're not finished signing players yet. I reckon the next one to come will be Morgan Gibbs White. I reckon so.
I definitely hope so. What do you think? What do you think Lingard's going to do in the season?
It depends. It depends on his fitness, and suppose it depends. Yeah, like I said, it depends on his fitness, and it depends his attitude. If he's got a good attitude, and also he wants to get into the World Cup, England team for World Cup. You know, so basically he's got to try to work to. You know, we've only signed him on a 1-year deal. Apparently, it's 80 million. 80 something wage.
£80,000, 80 million.
I think it's about 8. I think it's about 80 something. That's what I thought the reckon. Plus with the add-ons, what they've added to it. We do have the option to see how we go for this season. We do have the option to extend the contract next season. If I would like us to finish maybe either in the top 10 or in the in the top our 6th place or a little bit higher.
Great stuff, mate. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming on DoreOnTour. Really, really appreciate it.
I've never been on him before, so I'm a new.
It's always a pleasure
subscriber.
to have new people, and I'm sure Dore, like myself, really appreciate it. So thanks for coming on. I'm going to.
Okay, and also before I go, I am trying to get myself my I was trying to get a new season ticket because of all this thing, and don't forget next Wednesday the 28th, live on the Rushcliffe Borough Council YouTube channel thing. There's going to be a debate about the ground redevelopment.
There is, so we'll all tune in. I really, really appreciate you coming on, mate. Thank you.
It's all right. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for James there. Really appreciate him coming on. Just going to get through some of these comments. Nick says Paul is okay. Des after the drama. Someone says, I thought it was in my house. I didn't think it was in my house. That's why I didn't move. Whilst Kay was shouting. Big Mark says, deep breath. The gaffers spoke. The show must carry on. There you go. Of course, Mr. Dore. Kieran, thanks for the donation. £1.79. We really appreciate that. Helping Mr. Dore buy a new camera and get to Germany and places like that. Bloody hell, yeah, crazy bro. Hope everything's okay. It's fine. You just got a burnt out power bank. Chapo says YouTube cold. Never predicted that, could we have? That was about as unpredictable as Jesse Lingard signing for Forest. Anyway, Joe says good evening. He said good evening to Ez. Good evening, Joe. Paul says Jesse needed this move. I'm not sure about this one. Marcus says surely Des needs to wear a full kit again as a fine. Glad all is okay. Fine for what? What have I done? Chapo again says, Dore, got to have this on highlights for season review. Nicky says, go on, Des, upstage Jesse with a fire. It was all a bit bonkers that, but everything is all right. Took a deep breath and we'll go again. What I will do, guys, we're going to wrap up now. Thank you to all the people that have been watching. Over 300 people. They stuck with us through that 90 minutes show. Please make sure before you leave, you do give this episode a like. I have, even in trying circumstances, I've tried my best. Hopefully, it's good enough. I'm not Mr. Dore. All his enthusiasm and excitement for what he does. Like I say, he's not been this excited since we signed Ariata. Hopefully, it doesn't turn out in the same way. So keep liking. Please subscribe. Please do subscribe to Do Daily. Let's get that on fire as well. I really, really appreciate it. Here, look, Do Daily is on fire. Your defence is terrified. Quite literally. Just mention Stuart, a new member. Thanks for becoming a member of DoreOnTour. I know the man himself will really, really appreciate it. Somebody there shouting out for Tielemans. Not quite sure, but I think he's moving elsewhere. Glenn, again, another friend of the show. If it wasn't for World Cup year, I'd be sceptical of his motives. Ultimately, 12 million for the season is good business. Tend to agree. Stu says, I don't think he's here for the money. He has to play and he's back in the England squad. And Dean says he wants his England spot. Fair enough. Gets to play with Jono. That's enough motivation. Of course, when I was asking the question about that. And the man himself, our good friend, Mr. KC. Good signing, Des. Goals from midfield is important. And Jesse is proven. Absolutely. said the last man who scored lots of goals for Forest. But unfortunately, he didn't play in the Premier League. Great to see you watching, Casey. Really, really appreciate the support. Paul says, Des, are you jogging to Newcastle? No, I'm not jogging to Newcastle because not enough of you subscribed to my channel on that day. If you'd have got me up to the number, I'd have done it. So I'm not doing it. Another one there saying, after you jog. Jimmy saying, Des, is Dore your sidekick? Well, who knows from now on. Depends what the public want. Just joking. Top hat and tails for Des. Definitely. Just a few more before we check out. Colin's got his new Forest t-shirt today. I wish I had mine today, but there you go. Just going to finish off, guys. So many to go through. I really can't keep up with them. Once again, thank you. I know Dore's going to appreciate it. I know he's going to love the show if he's been watching throughout or if he's just been literally checking in. Claire says this, she went to check her fire alarms. You know, I'm the only one that didn't move when mine went off. But no, it's been brilliant. It's been absolutely brilliant standing in, despite all the dramas. You know, Jesse Lingard signed for Forest. If that's not great news, if that's not something to take into the weekend in the big game, really, I don't know what's going to get you excited for the new season. Just a few nice comments to finish with. Gary says, great show tonight, buddy. Thanks, mate. Stuart said, great stream, Des. And we'll call it a day there. Sorry if I have not been able to read out your comments. I've tried to do as much as I can. We've had some great guests, some really good Forest fans on there. It's been absolutely brilliant, sort of sharing the excitement, having a great day. And again, just looking forward to the new season now. That's what it's about, isn't it? Until next time, I believe Dore wants to do a live feed from Germany. Hopefully he can sort that out for tomorrow evening. I'm sure after this, he's going to want to get straight back in and run the rule over what I've done. But for tonight, guys, Jesse Lingard's a red and up the Forest, as the man himself says. See you soon.